5 earthquakes with almost no survivors. It's quite rare to capture a natural disaster on video, especially when it happens with little to no warning. Here are 5 powerful earthquakes that were captured on camera, from an airport in the Philippines to a home in Alaska. Earthquakes are a perfect example of the terrifying power of nature. Welcome to Just Scary. Number 5. In Haiti, approximately 16 miles away from the capital city of Porto, a massive magnitude 7 earthquake shook the country on Tuesday, January 12, 2010. The magnitude of this disaster, which resulted in hundreds of thousands of fatalities and more than 250,000 demolished homes, is difficult to understand, but can be attributed to the absence of sufficient building code in the nation. As government workers run for cover, various parts of the building can be seen collapsing in this CCTV footage from the presidential palace. The footage begins outside, where debris can be seen at the bottom of the screen. The following few shots are taken inside the building, where walls are seen collapsing to the ground. The video ends with a cloud of dust rushing to the cameras. Pictures of the presidential palace after the earthquake show the true extent of the damage. This massive disaster made news around the world, and quickly many nations rushed in to help, providing assistance through food, water, and medical supplies. It was a time when the entire planet seemingly stopped and came together to do what was needed. Despite this, the recovery efforts have been slow in the years that followed after the earthquake. International interest and support dwindled, though not entirely. As of February 2, 2017, the United Nations reported that there are still some 2.5 million Haitians in need of help. Number 4. We all know that Nepal is the country with the tallest mountains on Earth. This is due to the fact that Nepal sits at the edge of a massive tectonic plate that is constantly pushing against another plate, which forces the land to rise higher and higher year after year. On one hand, this means that the mountains are growing higher by the year, but on the other, it also means that this area is very vulnerable to tectonic activity and earthquakes. During April 2015, a powerful 7.9 magnitude earthquake hit Nepal and Southwest Asia. Incredible CCTV footage of China's Tibet Autonomous Region was captured at a border inspection post in Gergon, Tibet. From the video's opening seconds, we can watch everything begin to rock back and forth. Around 20 seconds into the video, you get a truly amazing glimpse of the power of this 7.9 magnitude earthquake. Things start to get really bad at this point, going from swaying to outright shaking as the earthquake continued. Dust overtook the area from a few partially collapsed buildings, and you can even see bits of debris fall onto the building that the camera is attached to. In Khergon, Tibet, a few buildings fell, killing a total of 18 people, but as the epicenter was far away, the town was spared the worst of the destruction. During this earthquake, approximately 600,000 structures were damaged or destroyed across the many regions affected by this natural disaster. As can be imagined, a state of emergency was declared immediately following the earthquake. Quickly, the United Nations created a fund to help the country. The goal was to raise $415 million for relief. Within just 2 weeks, more than $330 million had been provided. Yet the total cost associated with this event is estimated to be between $5 and $10 billion. This brings us to the halfway point in the video. If you have been enjoying it so far, please give it a like and subscribe to Just Scary and press the bell icon to never miss any of our future videos. Also, if you thought these 3 incidents were horrifying, just watch till the end of the video, for we got a lot more in store for you. Number 3. When we think of earthquakes in the United States, we typically think of the state of California. We picture the San Andreas Fault and the numerous quakes that occurred in cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego. However, there is another state in which earthquakes occur frequently and are equally as powerful. We are of course referring to the earthquake-prone region of Alaska. In 2018, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake hit Anchorage, Alaska. On that day, a family was relaxing at home when their house started shaking erratically. Their home security cameras were recording when the earthquake struck. Instantly, the father knew exactly what to do and went into full parent mode. He immediately took his child and sprinted outside, away from the danger of any falling debris. Soon after, his wife rushed through the house and joined them outside. They were visibly shaken, but everyone came out of it unscathed. The only losses were a few belongings in the house that fell from high up places. These types of earthquakes occur frequently in the region because a portion of Alaska sits along a very geologically active line that surrounds the Pacific Ocean, called the Ring of Fire. It is where the majority of the world's volcanoes are located, but aside from being volcanic, it is also ripe with tectonic activity. This line actually goes to the southern part of Alaska as well as stretching the entire length of Aleutian Islands. There were no fatalities or significant property damage from this earthquake, but it was most definitely a terrifying experience for the residents throughout the day. There were also over 80 aftershocks of varying magnitude recorded. There were 3 that registered over 5.0 magnitude in strength, which really kept people worried that another, even stronger earthquake was approaching. Fortunately, this was not the case. Number 2. Anyone who knows the history of the United States, especially in terms of natural disasters, will definitely know about the terrible things that the city of San Francisco has overcome. One of the main reasons why this particular earthquake was so bad was because the epicenter was located directly below the city, which is an incredibly rare occurrence. This earthquake, which was 7.9 magnitude, struck the city on the morning of April 18, 1906. Although the earthquake lasted for less than a minute, its impact was immediately felt, and it was especially disastrous. Due to the city's large military population, buildings collapsed all over the place, and a massive fire broke out that burned for 3 days and destroyed roughly 500 city blocks. The earthquakes and the fires that followed claimed the lives of about 3,000 people and left half of the city's 400,000 residents homeless. In the middle of San Francisco, we can find the always busy Market Street. In this first video, you can see what life was like. It was the turn of the century, when horse and buggy shared the street with cars, and gentlemen in top hats strolled along without a care in the world. That is, until the earthquake struck. The second video shows the same street after the disastrous earthquake hit and the fire burned. Very few of the buildings were left standing, but the ones that remained were badly damaged. As people walk by the camera, it is evident that they are still in shock at what is going on around them. It's quite a sad thought that many of these people in the video are walking around after just losing their homes. Very few other natural disasters in America's history have been as costly as the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Number 1. There are 5 distinct faults in and around the Philippines, all of which can produce earthquakes and even trigger volcanoes. This region is one of the most active and dangerous places on Earth and has been the site of many of the world's deadliest earthquakes, some of which even triggered enormous volcanoes. It is located on the islands that lie between the Pacific and Indian Oceans, specifically the countries of Indonesia and the Philippines. Due to the number of faults in the area, a strong 6.1 magnitude earthquake that struck the island of Luzon with a shallow epicenter that was 2 kilometers northeast of the city of Caslios caused quite a lot of damage. It has not yet been determined which fault generated the earthquake, but it was powerful enough to topple some buildings and knock out power to much of the region, killing 18 people, leaving 3 people missing, and injuring 256 others. The magnitude of the trembling is shown in the CCTV footage from numerous points at Clark International Airport. As you can see, both travelers and employees are going about their daily activities normally, when all of a sudden everything begins to shake back and forth very violently, sending everyone scrambling in all directions. Fortunately, the airport stayed intact and no one was hurt, but it is still crazy to see how everything was thrown about. That is all for today. What did you think of the video? Were the incidents terrifying? Did any incident send chills down your spine? Comment if they did in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Subscribe to Just Scary for more videos like this one, and don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss any of our future videos. We'll be back soon with another video.